Bari, Lieutenant General Bari, I don't know if he's here. The Director General of Artillery. And I particularly want to thank you for inviting me, because I had the misfortune of not being able to pay my last respects to this dear friend of mine and most lovable human being, Sunith Francis Rodrigues, on his demise. It was due to medical reasons. But I do wish to say a few words, even though the Director General of Artillery has been giving what you call nowadays in a parlance, which is very popular, is as what is silent reminders as to strictures on time. You know, I read this right over there when I walked in, and I said to myself that, look, Sunith Francis Rodrigues was a very, very honest man. And he didn't want people to sort of give him a kind of a coating or a coloring that he wasn't really worthy of. So the first thing is that word diplomat. This, I think, needs to be removed. This he might have been as a governor, but not as the Sunith Francis Rodrigues that I knew. Jean, if you look around, with a number of former chiefs who are here, the kind of audience that is over here, you can see the array of love that is there. And that love is not generated because there's a general saying that come and sit down here. It's out of their genuineness, because I've interacted with a lot of them. And Sunith was a bundle of love. And that, I think, was the main criteria. Strategists and all these other criteria, and they are very small compared to what that human being was. So when I speak about him today, I want to speak of him as a human being. Anyone can be a general or a air chief marshal or an admiral. We are destined to, they are all dictated. But to be a good human being is not dictated, it is what you make of it. And the manifestation of the results are all visible over here. And I'm so touched and so grateful to you, because in all honesty, I felt that my best friend was Sunith Francis Rodrigues. Now, I think I want to go back the memory lane. I think more appropriately, I want to reminisce my lovely days with Sunith. I remember January 1949, looking at the crowd here, it appears that most of the people, their parents weren't born when we joined first day. My personal number was Alpha 17. Sunith Rodrigues' personal number was Alpha 57, and Admiral Ramdas was Alpha 13. We made chiefs in the order, General Rodrigues first, followed by Ramdas, and the Air Force is always a straggler, so the third chap was me. I remember first week of January 1949. A smartly dressed, plucky-looking young chap came along with his hand outstretched, and he said, "Rodrigues from Goa." And being from the RIMC, we often tend to have wrongly a chip on our shoulder. I turned around and I said, "Are you coming or gone?" Now this didn't go down very well with him, and what he had to tell me, I'd rather not share in this company. It was not long after that the ways of God. He and Lieutenant General Bari, also a gunner, they were the roommates, and I was in a separate barrack. One night, I don't know what really motivated them. When I was fast asleep, they picked up my bed and put it on the Clementown Road. Next, what happened was this loud horn of the truck and the screeching of the tires, and obviously not being such a brave man, I was on my double. Well, this is the Rodrigues, full of fun. And he was an excellent singer. I don't know, the gunners must know about it. I'm confused. Somebody was giving me a lecture. Look, this is for artillery, I'm a gunner. So I am really confused. What is artillery, what is gunner? And this to happen to a 90 years old chap is not very good. But anyway, whatever it is, I mean, they are synonymous. And he formed a team for people to sing. And Sunit had a fad for these cowboy songs. And I don't know whether he brought that cap from Goa, the cowboy cap, and he had a lasso. And he would twirl that lasso and he would sing. And to our horror, we came to be known as the Bharatiya Gwalas. Maybe very appropriate today, but it was then. Sunit, even as a cadet, he was brilliant. You saw him over there. He was the stick orderly. He was throughout the course. And we were 40 of us from INC. We thought all these positions were reserved for us, not for these chaps coming from the city streets. But things didn't work quite that way. And Sunit, I think he excelled in every department that he was a singer. He was an angler, and I was the president of the club of an angling club. We were boxers together. He had many more attributes, the ones that I totally lacked. Then I want to jump to this period of vice chief. We were vice chiefs together, and I want to mention only one anecdote over here. The Air Force and Navy chiefs were on a tour abroad. And we were fortunate that the only chief in Delhi, also the chairman of Chief Staff Committee, was a Rimkolian by the name of General V.N. Sharma, who's sitting right here. So bright and early in the morning, there was this call, come and meet me in the office. So the Vice Admiral Hirandani, the best naval officer that I met, we all came to his office, he gave his instructions. Then after that, you had the Prime Minister over there in the Army War Room, and of course, another remarkable person, General Vaid Malik, who later wrote a book on this particular issue. Why I have picked up this is because there could have been no greater show of camaraderie, cooperation, inter-services cooperation, and fellow feeling. And this was done so beautifully that even a very strong general like Vaid Malik decided to write a book on it. And he mentioned something of this sort. Now I want to quickly jump to the period of the chief because of the paucity of time. You see, my relationship with Sunit and first Jay and the office of the chief were all full of fun. Fun and sharing love. Just like General Malik, he had people from two other services, and we were saying, yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full. And we won that. It is that particular one that I want to go back and mention, that I used to wonder often, why does this national flag flutter so often? Is it because the gust of the wind? Then I realized, no, It was because of the dedication and the commitment and the ability to lay down the ultimate sacrifice of the Indian Armed Forces. Because this action in Maldives, we did not have a map, we did not know where the airfield was, there was no moonlight night available, and everyone in the team, including the Jawans who were there, they all knew that, look, we were going in for a little bit of a problem. But there was also a finer side, two aspects. One, of course, my course mate was the vice chief. Second was that the person who led the operation was General V.N. Sharma, who was sitting here. The one who was in charge of the Air Force operations was also a Napoleon, that was me. And the one who flew the aircraft into that impossible scenario was General Babur's son, Group Captain Anand Babur, also a Napoleon. So on one side I had first J, the other side I had Napoleon, and I was very happy. So now, coming into the chief, we three, Sunit, Ramu and I, resolved that we will live up to the raison d'etre of the JSW, which, as you know, was an institution after the Second World War, and this had certain very strict stringence. And what has come up after that has really been from the experiments that were done on us. So to that we feel very happy that one of us, and really as a truly deserving person, Sunit, has been recognized because he did the best in the First Force, and we all look up to him with the greatest love. But when we were chiefs, we had a lovely Prime Minister, most cooperative, he recognized us with a lot of love. We had a Defense Minister who used to send us fruits regularly from his orchard. And he motivated even the Pakistani President to send the three of us mangoes at our service headquarters. And there was a fiasco in India because the President of Pakistan had sent this. They wanted to have this all checked up, etc., etc. But it was all fun. Each kind of relationship. I remember Dr. Abdul Kalam. He was then the scientific advisor to the Raksha Mantri. And outside the South Block, I used to request Sunit to sing Abdul the Bulbul the Mayor, and I used to twirl around the Raksha Mantri. Then, that's all Raksha Mantri I'm saying, Abdul Kalam, Dr. Abdul Kalam. Little did I know that I had really twirled them into the President's office. But it was that way. Our tenure, the three of us, was the most gratifying. And over here, since I'm getting dirty looks from Adosh, I sum up by saying, Jean, what is the greatest legacy that any human being would like to leave behind? To my mind, it is that here is a man whose heart is full of love and compassion. And he has the ability to share that at the drop of the hat. And Sunit Francis Rodrigues epitomized those characteristics. And I love him so much for it. But every time I see General Sharma, my senior in the RMC, the army has a saying that great soldiers, great generals never die. They fade away. But let me, with your permission, General Pandey, rephrase this. Generals like Sunit Francis Rodrigues do not fade away, they do not die. But their memory lingers on because they have left the army on such a firm foundation that his successors, who are all present here, have been able to build on so with the greatest speech. Jean, you are the most admirable lady that I've met. You and your family. The way you looked after Suneet, I think it qualifies that Suneet must have been a good man to give him a wife like you. And you must have been an awfully kind person to get a husband like Suneet. And both of you, children like you have, to which I must add the person with whom Suneet could have an argument, his son-in-law. So because Suneet used to tell me, at least I can air my views over here. So may I say, God bless you all. Thank you for giving me this time. And I was so sorry if I exceeded this time. But you never ask an old man to speak. Okay, bye.
Thank you, sir.